Good morning, my dear friends. Balavin Kural is my YouTube channel, and in today's video I am going to talk about the sources of Indian history. The sources of Indian history varies from literary sources, archaeological sources, inscriptions, numismatics, and chronicles. The very ancient history of India, we get information from Vedas. There are 4 Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharvana Veda. And then the Vedangas. There are 6 Angas, parts of the Vedas. They are called Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakarna, Nirukta, Chanda, and Jyotisha. So Shiksha is education. Here it is the Shiksha of letters, phonetics, how it is to be pronounced, a letter has to be pronounced. Then Kalpa is about the rituals to be performed. Vyakarana is about the grammar. Nirukta is the etymology, how it has, why a word has formed. And Chanda is the meters that are used in a poem. Jyotisha is the astronomy as well as astrology. Panini, who wrote a book by the name Ashtadhyayi, is a very important historical sources. Ramayana and Mahabharata give many information. The 18 Puranas also give much information, but they are not in the chronological order. The Jain and Buddhist literature also give valuable information about history. When we talk about the inscriptions, the Hathigumba inscription of Karavela, the Rotak inscription, the Halmindi inscription, the Tamil copper plate inscription, Shankarapur plates of Buddhagupta, all these things are called very important inscriptions. The inscriptions of Ashoka, eye-hole inscriptions of Puligesi, Chalukyas, these are all very important inscriptions which give us very valuable information to us. Coins, the study of coins is called as numismatics, and the coins of Gupta period, Skandagupta, Samudragupta, Kumaragupta, these kings have issued many coins, gold coins. So from those coins we get many informations. Also the excavations that were made in Mohenjo-daro and Harappa gives very good information about the Sindhu Valley civilization. When we talk about literary sources, the books written by foreigners, for example, by Megasthenes, Indica, the book written by Megasthenes, gives very valuable information about the Maurya period. And also the foreign travelers, Fahian, Yuan Suwang, Yit Singh. So these things give very good information about Indian history. The works by Indian authors, very importantly Kautilya or Chanakya's Arthashastra, gives very valuable information about Pataliputra city, how it is managed and all. Kalhana, his chronicle Raja Tarangini gives the history of many Kashmiri kings. Harsha Charita, Mudra Rakshasam, Malavika Mitram. Harsha Charita was written by Banabhatta. Mudra Rakshasam is written by Vishakadatta. Malavika Mitram is written by Kalidasa. In Tamil, Sangam literature gives very valuable information on history. One of the 18 books, they are divided into two parts, Ettu Togai and Pattu Paattu. In that, Paditru Pattu is there. This is this gives very valuable information about the ancient Chera kings. The Silappadigaram is mentioning the name of a king who has come to Tamil Nadu from Sri Lanka for the opening of the new temple about Kannagi. The Purananuru, Agananuru and all talks about the Mauryan invasion of South India, and also the treasure that was buried on the banks of Ganges by Nanda kings. So like this, there are lot of literary, numismatics, inscription, archaeological sources of Indian history. So when you go on reading history by each time, Maurya's time, Gupta's time, Harsha's time, Kanishka's time, like that, the information what we read is got from one particular source that can be told everywhere. So sources of Indian history itself is a very big lesson. Each can be very detailed answers can be given for all these things. For inscription alone, very detailed answer can be given. Numismatics alone, very detailed answers can be given. Literary sources alone, very detailed answers can be given. So students who are preparing for the area sources of Indian history should read all these things, take notes about these things, and prepare themselves for competitive examinations like IAS, UPSC exams, SSC exam and all. Students from South once upon a time used to appear in large numbers for this examination, but for the past 10 years the number of students that are appearing for the examinations conducted by Staff Selection Commission UPSC from South, especially from Tamil Nadu, is very less. So I request all my teacher friends who are working in colleges to tell the students to appear for all Staff Selection Commission examinations. For girl students, it is free. So history is a very important subject they should read for appearing in the examination. In my future videos, I will be telling you about various periods of Indian history. Thank you.